Uh, Welcome again to After Dark, late night edition, Chaos Reign. Next, and welcome to anybody that will catch this stream or this broadcast or this podcast. Like always, as you come into the stream, always, like the stream as you come in. Always at the end of every video podcast, give a comment and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as y'all know, how the thing works to subscribe to the channel, there's that notification bell on the right side. You click on that bell, you see 3 options on that bell. Those options will determine how often you know when I go live or when an upload is being posted on this channel. One of the tricky things about the YouTube is that they sometimes will not give up notifications depending on the title or the strength of any live stream you're doing, or so keep that in mind. And this is open panel, like always. We'll see who's out here. I don't see much people out here right now, but like I said, I feel I just came up on here just to see what's out here in the digital world. I know there's a lot of talk has been going around lately. There's also issue with they call the coronavirus and a lot of bigger distractions out here. And my only thoughts in regard to all this is a distraction. Nothing more, nothing less. Rather that you might get so-called affected by this so-called virus, or you might just not get affected at all. You just missed the boat. Wherever it's being put out here is going to lead to a greater issue in the coming months, maybe a year or two. But like I tell most people, they should not be too fear what's being put out here. Y'all know how this goes. Every time they put out what they call it, a epidemic, there's always what we call a response, not a cure, but a response. Most people response. People sit to panic, go on a frenzy, go on a buying spree. You know how it goes with epidemics. And if that doesn't work, some people will go as far as be violent towards other people just to get certain supplies or certain things from a person if there's a sense of scarcity. And what leads that leads to military action, starting off with the what they call the National Guards, and the National Guards don't do it, they see the military. So this is not something new to most people that has been living life for God how long. You might hear this from your own parents, your grandparents specifically, when they hear about these outbreaks. So this is not nothing new, people. My advice: stay strong, be mindful, don't fall for the okey doke. I wouldn't say you should put yourself in a position where they have some form of cure and you just put your position to get cure or whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't really trust a lot of things now out here just to keep it fair, because this is a good testing ground to run more experiments on people. A lot of experiments. And you don't want that. So hold on, I'm looking at some. Oh, interesting. Let's look at Discord. And it looks like everybody's quiet in this end. Also in this end too. So there's nothing really much activity going on right now. I'm just looking for my Discord. So I'll close Discord here. So there's no activities going around there. Um, I would say you could protect yourself by keeping yourself clean. And since I'm talking about clean, I'm assuming have a little upload either today or tomorrow. And I'm gonna go in. That's all y'all need to know. I've noticed with certain people, and I say certain people, they don't keep themselves clean. In regards of an outbreak which targets weaker genes, particularly people that are not heavily melanated, you think a man and woman that has never taken the emphasis of being cleansly with their bodies, meaning that they don't wash their bodies properly, wash their arms, wash their private parts, hell, wash their ass more seriously. But I'm finding out certain groups of people don't take cleaning really seriously. That's disturbing. So you know that's very disturbing. Somebody do an upload on that. Um, so be on the lookout for that. Another thing that catches my attention, I've noticed a lot of our sisters, and not many, because a lot of people that either communicate me through Facebook or possibly Twitter. As I know, Twitter, you could Twitter me at Chaos27. I don't get much Twitters yet because it's still a new page. And let me put that there now. One thing is evident that as this channel and my audience starts to slowly grow, they're going to ask for me to start responding to a lot of topics, some that might be educational, and some might be just, foolishness. At the end of the day, they're going to ask me to respond and make like I would say what we call it, upload or go live on a specific situation that faces the community. Um, and I'm gonna tell people now when they go back through this, be mindful, be very mindful on that, because I'm not gonna be discussing certain things that plagues communities, especially what we call the Black community, in regards how we deal with each other in, I would guess, in an interaction way where violence is inevitable. What I mean by that, in regards to men and women fighting each other, beating each other up, I'm not gonna be too privy to be doing streams on those, much less uploads heavily on what we like to call black on black violence. And they will ask Chaos, why won't you talk about the black on black violence? Simple question and simple needs of an answer. Simple, because to me as a man, I don't see the importance of discussing too much of the black on black violence situation here, not only here in the West, we call America, but pretty much globally on the average. If I talk about it, it'll probably in a more, it has to be very much a way where it caught my attention where I might have to expound on it and give my take on it. But overall, I am not going to invest too much time on this podcast or this channel on black and black violence. If I'm going to talk about black and black violence, if I want to have to stick with the conversation, it will be only, and I say only, when it has to be dealing with the psychology and the mental illness melanated people slash black people have or already been in, I would say, diagnosed for a very long time. I'll read certain books to give you a deep analysis of the mental illness in regards how we think and how we act, behave under this Western world we call America. Or globally. Same thing, no different. That's the only time I will reference a black and black violence. But other than that, I'm not gonna sit there do what we call streams on what we like to call fights between boys and girls and men and women. I said this before and I'll say this again. As adults or young teenagers, I can't speak much about children, but as we're both beings, we have to come to understand to keep our hands to ourselves. I'm not sure why that's so hard to understand that. Matter of fact, let me go even deeper. I was searching through the Facebook feed, and I noticed one person posted a question. I'm not sure if this was Twitter or well, actually, I'll say this. He posed a question about and asked the question to about the ladies and asking, have you ever assaulted your boyfriend? Or in other words, punched your boyfriend? Now, mind you, the comments this particular friend posted, he didn't get much comments. But the comments that he did receive outweighed the number of the women that will not put their hands on their significant other. It was frightening. And what I mean frightening, because I've concluded that if you're not trained as a woman to act and conduct yourself like a lady, then you know you're not supposed to do certain things. And that's home training that you don't get that from your mother on the average. Your father could teach that, but on the average, it's the role of the mother to teach you some etiquette. But I know in the society, a lot of women are not taught etiquette and how to conduct themselves as women, or young girls be growing up to women. You're gonna find enough of our sisters put their hands on not only their boyfriends but their husbands or just boys in general. And I find that to be a no-no. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And to find that some of their logic and reason into it is that some feel said I can to one they said that they felt annoyed, even to the point where, and I'm a reference to you, Tony, that and she's a sweet woman. So, if you never subscribe to Tony Talks, you should. She said she one time, let me pull up because I don't want to run my mouth. I gotta find what she said. It's kind of funny though. Let me see. Where is it? Give me a second, guys. So I'll try to find it. Okay. Yeah, because I had to find this though. Okay, where is it? Give me a second, guys, because I'm scrolling through certain things. Cause it was very one of these posts on my social media page. I'm trying to find it. Yeah. I'll find it though. Oh, you know what to find? Let me see. Where could I shorten up the narrow search? I'm trying to find it right now, guys. You know what I'm gonna do? I'll do this. Okay. All right, found it. Oh damn. Hang on. My good friend Tony said this. She said, "Nah, but I tried to hit him with my car. Let him tell. Wait, hold on. If I read this right. Nah, but I tried to hit him with my car. Let him tell it." Well, I don't know if that was a joke or she was dead serious, but she was laughing. So, but the point is this: that the violence is real when it comes to us as people and how we view each other. Even by another post dealing with the Suns, and one of those posts, if I could find that too. Y'all making me work tonight, man. Another post. So as soon as I can find that. Hmm. Okay. Wow, this is ridiculous. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I'm not gonna find that. But if I could remember, if my memory serves right, is a post on a boy that is constantly getting abused in school by another girl, where he's getting actually beat up. In regards, the boy's getting slapped, probably punched by a girl. And this post says, if your son comes home constantly beat as a girl, what would you do as a parent? Now, obviously, most mothers will sit to defend their own sons, even go as far as let their daughters handle that. But overall, it goes back to how we raising our children. We're not really raising our children in society as people, and it's shown through the behaviors and how our young boys and girls interact with each other, where it eventually winds down and becomes violent. So, in knowing this, I say in knowing this, that I don't really expound too much about the violence or the black and black violence in our communities on this channel because I don't see it serves a purpose. We could sit there waste time all we want, pointing the finger out who's to blame, who's to take fault. But until we come as adults, not just clip, but young adults or older adults with children, we have to make a decision what we outcome and how we want the future of our own son daughters to be and conduct themselves in this society. Because society is going to constantly keep demonizing black boys and black girls. And they're not going to let up anytime soon. And they're not supposed to because it's a warfare tactic. I continue to demonize you. I justify myself hurting you, beating you up, and killing you. Because they have to create the bad guy at the end of the day. See? And everybody said who loves a bad guy. That depends. If you are non-white, yeah, you will be the bad guy and you need to be dealt with severely. But if you're, like I said, white, yeah, you might have it easy. So Like I said before, in regards to black and white violence and dealing with our children, we had to step up in regards to raising these boys and girls. Whether you're a single parent or you're two parents. I wouldn't mind most men that, not knock up these women, take a little bit more responsibility and play more inter part of their children's lives. But like I said, that's wishful thinking in the society because on the average, we are trained to hate each other more than ever. The hate was always there during and after slavery, and has not changed. I think right now it's permeated that the hate has risen to an all-time high now. Well, now you see the young boys not only engage in more physical bonds with the opposite sex, but they're not even want to interact or procreate with a lot of the opposite sex, especially in the race, in their own race, black people particularly. So we got a lot of fixing to do in our cleaning our do in our own backyards when it comes to our people, and no other people's gonna come in and fix that. So keep that in mind. Um, Another thing I've noticed, there's been constantly attack with the, I guess, skin tones of our people in regards to colorism. Now I don't know about y'all, but to be honest with you, I believe in the last 2 years, I had done a broadcast and brought one particular woman that was the, I guess, the queen of colorism. And it was a good interview. If I could find it, I might re-upload it on this channel for a moment back in time. But as I got more better understanding of our situation, the times we're in, I cannot keep focus on who has it worse in colorism. As you know, I'm a black person myself, melanated enough, and as a man, like any man, most men, if you think about it, ladies, most men don't really focus too much about their own skin colors like that on the average, unless, now I say unless they're very much non-selective. That means they're very obese. They don't look appealing to the opposite sex in regards to good looking or cute. So I could see the colorism will bother certain types of black men. It doesn't bother all. And I'm telling you this from another black man. Telling you sisters, it doesn't really affect a lot of black men like that. Because we know we're black, if we dark skin or not, and we have to accept it, and the world has to deal with us accordingly. Because most men with the type of skin tone, either light, fair, or dark, we have to operate in this environment anyway and try to like impose it like men. We cannot really sit there focus at, well, how people think of me because I look too dark skinned. That doesn't come too much in the mindset of the Negro man. He doesn't think like that on the average. Now, in regards to mate selection, that is by sheerly by programming. And what I mean by programming, because you live here in the West, we call America. The standard of beauty is non-black. We all know this, ladies. You know this. In the magazine covers, they don't put dark skin or beautiful black sisters as the cover or the standard of beauty through the lens of the dominant side. No, they put their own women, and they rightfully should put their own women because they have to keep the standard ability in their image. And looking upon black people, we are not the standard or the right image of beauty on the average. Nor do you hear them psychologically, and you hear in their expression saying, if you ask most non-black women, they say, "What is your ideal mate?" They'll tell you, tall, dark, and handsome. You know, so there's only a specific gender that is mostly acceptable, and usually at the end, it's still the black man. Unfortunately, and you know this. So, but in regards to the sisters, no, not like that. Not in the society. The only time they want some out of the sister or black women is when they need the features. like the mouth, the lips, the hips, the butts, and hell, maybe the chest. But I think most non-black women have the chest on the average down pack. On the average, but most like all the other body features, they don't have. They don't have the small waist with the nice hips with the butt, like that nice cocoa ball shape where you can take your hand like go. They don't got that, so but they'll die to have it by getting the injections, getting the Botox, getting those implants. So yeah, and not only that, some of them will go as far as tanning, get that gold skin, that darker skin. But that's as far as they'll take it in regards to looking and having the features of a black woman. But in regards to having everything, including the hair and the skin, no, they're not gonna go that extent. They never can go that far. They won't be caught dead trying to look actually like a black woman with the hair and the skin. No, because like I said, the standard beauty is white or bright yellow or whatever, less than black. So, like I said, most men don't really harp too much on the colors unless they're programmed to see what is more of the standard beauty, which is always whiteness. Not only some men accept this, but also enough of you ladies accept it too, because what you do now just to compete, and you're trying to compete in the so-called scene, the dating scene, because you are in not only in competition with your other sister, rather blue, black, or white as snow, or yellow, which is most lighter skin, but also other racial groups of women. Which I find a lot of men ask these same women this question, even as one particular sister that's a author and a YouTuber, this question. They don't really give you that answer. So it tells you they're in denial that you're going to have to compete for that type of man. As much time as you don't want to hear that, but I'm gonna tell you, in this environment, you're gonna have no choice but to compete. You're not gonna get around it, and you should not be getting around it because this is a harsh environment you live in, and normally, in your nature, you gotta sit there and nest in this environment, and you try to nest in the hope to catch that big flock for that flock, which is that male, to nest with. So you're gonna do everything impossible to get that male, or what do you call it, that selected male, to procreate with. So, like I said before, right now the people that's dealing with imposes colorism is, to be honest with you, is the women and the sisters, and I don't see no change otherwise because when I look at streams and any podcast, I see particularly the sisters are talking about this more than the dudes, and usually dudes don't really sit there and make videos or streams about you know how they view or want this type of women. No, men are really simple, ladies. At the end of the day, as long as you carry yourself a certain way and you radiate amongst a crowd, you're going to attract those that you want to attract. And I don't see that as you carry yourself other and don't do look the part, keep yourself a certain way, keep your skin glowing, especially if you're a dark skinned woman. There are certain ways you had to carry yourself. You gotta carry that glow, that allure, that sweet kindness. Rather you're in a very harsh environment, you had to still carry yourself like that because you're gonna attract some man. Because on the average, most men don't want to deal with hardness. Anytime a man deals with hardness, that's a mental illness, and he is very much undeveloped as a male. Not a lot of men is going to question me on that, saying it, but think about this. If you hear the complaints with a lot of these dudes, not just on this YouTube thing, but anyway, you hear if you really ask them a serious question, they'll keep it honest with you. They want to deal with something nice and soft that will be on their program, especially if a man knows what he wants. That's what they were seeking. But if you carry yourself the opposite, The only thing a man's gonna look to do to you if your body is nice and sexy, he's gonna really just give you that good he's gonna give you the business. He's gonna pump, then eventually he's gonna dump, and you're gonna get caught in your feelings. That's how it is. That's how the world operates. It's a harsh world, but somebody gotta live in it. Somebody's gotta tell you that. And I know most people were making the complaints by Alan Roger Curry about he's the one that always talked about pump and dump. And like I said before, I've still have not found the answer to a lot of dudes that responded through my other upload or podcast video on this. Still waiting on that, but I heard they said that one particular scholar that wrote a book that the man stole from. But like I said, I need to know dates and time when the book was released, and to compare it from all his other 4 books that he wrote, either digital or paperback. Once you give me that evidence, now you're talking. But other than that, it's full of crap. So back to the colorism thing. Yeah, ladies. So you keep harping and complaining about the men that you can't track or they make look at you ugly. Like I said, you gotta have tough skin in this environment. As much as you don't hear it, I'm telling you, you gotta have tough skin. And I know a few women that carry themselves some way, they don't have these issues. Either they're like jet black or they brownish brown or yellow or white as snow, as a sister. They have the tough skin to deal with the harsh criticism from the opposite sex. And the ones that don't, your complaint is invalid because it's not gonna get you what you want as a woman, young or old. So what if you're dark skinned? I always said, what value you bring not only to yourself but to a man? Do you carry yourself like a lady? I mean, these questions you should be asking, especially if you have a hard time getting the type of man that you're looking for. And I'm not saying most women that's dark skinned can't get no man. No, as ever you can get a man, but the problem is, can you keep that man if you can get these men? Because any man come and just screw you, but in regards to staying around, that's not a bigger task that you have to solve or a bigger problem to solve. And all that, if you think about it, you have to be that type of person where a man feels that you're valuable. That if he that it's not something he has something that he could lose at the end of the day, that he doesn't want afford to lose. And most of y'all that's in relationships or been married for quite a while, your man might be out in the streets dealing his handling his business and may go as far as get some nice you know front on the side like some coochie. You think they're gonna risk their little escapades with another random woman, either black or non-black, to let you know about it, ladies? So that way he could lose his relationship. He will fight to the tooth to keep stay around with you because like at the end of it, man's gonna be a man, regardless. Um, so you should know that. Um, in a perfect world, if there was an even playing field between the ratio between men and women, then I would say monogamous relationships will work much better. But like I said, this world is created for imbalances. And in regards to how much people on the earth should be here and should not be here, there's going to be always more women than men. I don't know if I said this before on recent podcasts or streams, but I'll tell you now. Nature is always going to have more women than men. It's needed. It's sustainable. Without that, the population eventually will die. It won't die automatic, but it'll die within time. Because things take time, if you know about it. So So, like I said, my only solution to most ladies that have dark skin or feel that they were less valuable growing up, the only thing you could do is look into yourself in the mirror why you see yourself as lesser than and make the correction. And what I mean by correction, you might have to really build your self-esteem up. You might have to sit there, talk to somebody or talk to groups of people that love and favor you, be around them more. And if that doesn't work, you go take your resource and money and go to an actual good therapist. Especially if you're black, you want to go to a black therapist. That's either whether male or female. I prefer if you deal with a male, and then because most of y'all women that think like that don't got your fathers in life. That's why how you view yourself, because no man in life that validate you lets you know that you're beautiful. Yeah, that's my only answer to, I guess, the women that have self-esteem issues about their color. Um, and like I said, I'm not no therapist, and I only could give y'all a little quick advice what you should be doing if you're not doing it, you know, to fix that problem. Because it's going to get worse for you. The society is not going to make it more easy for darker skinned people, women or men. You're going to be behind the eight ball. The only thing you can do is adjust or improve or don't get in the game at all. Period. That's the only thing you could bank on with, you know. But other than that, all that other stuff is irrelevant. So let me see if I cover everything tonight. Just gonna double check something. I think I found somebody here. Okay. I'm just checking some messages. Not here, but from somewhere else, because I'm trying to. Um, Let me see what else I want to cover. Moving forward, because this is season 2, I probably will update some of my previous streams. So this is a so-called new year, and this is the second season. There will be sometimes there'll be open mics abruptly. Sometimes I'll pop up and create open mic, depending on I want people to express their thoughts and opinions. But it won't be often every night I do this. One thing I do want to do is like have like a certain stream about certain things brothers could, I guess, deal with their problems, talk their problems, and we deal with certain solutions, other alternate ways. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it, but it's eventually coming. Still figuring out how I'm gonna get that out on this channel, on this podcast. So be on the lookout. Also, now I will be uploading certain certain recordings or shows I did from another stream from another channel onto here on a Friday afternoon. So mostly every Friday you'll see an upload of a show I did. And that's gonna be the timetable I will be putting these shows. Some of the shows I've done either have guests or solo shows. I'm gonna let that y'all decide either it's good, helpful, or entertaining, or whatever. Leave that to y'all. And like always, I always harp that there should be constant feedback on every stream and episode. I don't know what else I could say moving forward. Like I said, this is a channel that is going to deal with a lot of subject matters. Also, another thing I would like to say, one of the elders released a new book, which I'm gonna find right now and share with y'all, and I might post it. It is titled, and he was close friends with Baba Amos Wilson. His name is Sabalu, and he released a new book from Amos Lectures. It is titled "The Psychology of Self-Hatred and Self-Defeat Towards the Reclamation of the African Mind." This is a very powerful and actually good read book. I advise every man and woman to get this book. And as I'm going through it, and I'll post it here, so for those who want to know what it is and get it, they get it themselves. So there you go. Oh wow. Well, I can't post that because it actually exceeds. Oh. All right. Well, I have to post it another time. Well, it's on Amazon. You can find it for yourself. Yeah, but that's some good reading to get. Also, there's a few, I think three more chapters, 4 more chapters left on the Negro slave revolts. Once that's completed, I might create a playlist for people to watch from the beginning to the end of this pretty good book, very old book, dealing with the history of American slave revolts of American people, descendants of slaves here in America, how they dealt with oppression during them times up to late 1600s up to the 1800s. I think it's an education piece because it gives inside history to most teenagers, not kids, but teenagers that don't know about actual history will know that your ancestors play a major role in the development not only this country, but how they were able to survive the harsh climates of this society as slaves during that time and how they dealt with oppression. So I will create a playlist once I conclude that book. The next book I will be doing, still thinking about it, but I haven't come to a decision yet. But when I do, you'll know once I post it, the book I selected. So I think that's all I'm gonna say tonight. Like always, go back to the previous videos or podcasts here on this channel that you miss. Like always, give a comment, subscribe, and like this video like always. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. And I will also post other links of other podcasts that I have out here in the works. So be on the lookout. Thank you for listening to tonight's broadcast. And like always, let the chaos reign.